Let's do this next. Let's make two numbers we compare return a string. So, first thing we're going to do is change public static void to public static string. Compare numbers. We're going to reestablish that integer A and integer B are received. And then we can get rid of them down here. And we can get rid of this line. Still yelling because I haven't made a return statement, so I have to create a return, have it return string name, initialize it, and then return name. I'm also going to get rid of the max here. Compare numbers. What's it passing down? Well, we're asking still for two numbers, A and B. So here we go. We're going to have this return a string, and we're going to have it return it to a string we have to declare up top here. So let's go do that. Let's go and say we have a string named is it bigger? We have to put the semicolon at the end. So we're going to say is it bigger equals compare numbers, and then instead of printing higher, now we're going to print is it bigger, the answer that comes from it. So we'll do a simple if statement. If A is greater than B, then the statement is going to say name equals the first is bigger than the second. And this will end our if. Else, name will equal the second is bigger than the first. And so it will pass down the numbers, do the comparison, and then shoot back up the result. Let's take a look. Good, run it three times again. We'll make it 7 and 16, so it's going to say the second. The higher number is the second is bigger than the first. Notice how I forgot to delete that other text, and that's okay. We'll just run with it. The first number, 32. The second number is negative 52. We'll work with negatives as well. The first is now bigger than the second, and then the only thing we haven't accounted for is if they are the same, because the else has 1 right there, so it's saying still that the second is bigger than the first, which of course is not true. So we would have to make a third else if statement, which would go into the second spot, saying if they're equal, then this is what the number says. So in summary, we can return strings, characters, booleans, integers, doubles. We can return about anything. Notice how, though, this type that we're returning does not match the type information that got passed down, which can happen. That's a very important thing to remember. That can happen. So you need to make sure that you understand that this is only saying the type of information being returned is a string. It could receive integers, it could receive doubles, it could receive booleans, it could receive all different kinds of information in there, but it still also has to follow the calculation rules as well as be passed down in order. So the next video I'm going to have a true false statement come down with it and get passed back up.